All right, guys, I picked up the new engine for the drift car. It is in the car. It's actually bolted in. It's bolted to the torque tube. It's bolted to the cradle. The AC compressor's on it. Like, it is bolted in. I'm committed at this point. So I wanted to make this video to figure out what to do with this engine. I'll give you a quick rundown on it, and then I'm gonna ask you guys. I kind of got I'm at a fork in the road. There's three paths, and I'm way too indecisive to just pick one and go with it right now. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. I don't know, help me figure this out. So going over the engine. It is a forged LS7, 429 cubic inch LS7 short block, Wiseco pistons, Callie's rods, Callie's crank, dry sump. Here's the problem. It's 10-to-1 compression, which some of you might say, well, that's not really a problem. What are you talking about? It's a problem for me. I wanted a 12-to-1, maybe 12.5-to-1 compression LS7 or anything. I would have went with a 454, but parts are literally impossible to get right now or to build anything. I wanted to be 600 plus wheel NA with 93 octane, pushing the really pushing the edge of 93. I do have a flex sensor in my toolbox that I need to get on this car, so I could run E85, but E85 is so hard to come by here that I wouldn't run the car. If I ran the car on E85 all the time, I'd do like 14-to-1. But without getting too far into the weeds on the 85 topic, what do I do with this combo? Do I just run it NA, 10-to-1 compression, and whatever it makes, just be happy with it and learn and build from there? Do I put a single turbo on here, move the rad to the back, and just jam a bunch of air into it? Do I throw a Magnuson or a Whipple on top and then battle heat all season? I'll make the power, but I'll be battling heat. I do have a VS Racing 7875 Gen 2 turbo over there. That is probably too small for these cubes, the 429. Probably have to go with like a S480 or maybe an S475. But I really don't want to do a turbo and overcomplicate things. Like I said, I wanted to stay NA and run it and be super simple and make a bunch of power. So I'm coming to you guys on YouTube asking you, what the hell is the best option? Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm way too indecisive and trying to figure it out. There's way too many options. I'm probably overthinking it and wanting to make way more power than I need. I'd probably be happy with a stock 350Z at this point. But I guess that's enough with the LS7. Let's go over the other cars real quick. So for the Grand Sport out here, we're doing a full build on this car. Right here, we got the old dry sump LS3. Can't really see it, but so this engine setup, it's an F35 Texas Speed cam, full Texas Speed valve train, everything. I went through that. It's got a K-Tech, I don't know how to say it, oil pump. It's gonna be a rowdy setup. That's going in the Grand Sport, full build. This bin, that box, all parts for the Grand Sport. We got a fast intake, a Vera Ram, cold air Ram intake. All that's going in this car. We're waiting on a few things. I need to get this engine into the car. That's gonna be a fun setup. Coming back here to the Porsche. We'll get to the Porsche in a second. I'll show you the heart of the Porsche right here. So we're doing an LS3 swap in the 944. What is it? It's an 87 944 turbo Porsche, doing an LS3 swap. This engine has a BTR stage 4 cam, full BTR valve train, trunnion upgrade all the way down to the melling oil pump. The plan with it is to make just over 500 wheel and then hit it with a 100, 150, maybe a 200 shot on a plate kit. So I think the goal with that car is just over 600. So if we could do 700 with a hit of nitrous, that's going to be rowdy. And it's going to handle it. It's got 345s on it. We're doing a full suspension build. So I'll show you the most ridiculous part of this car. I hated these cars until I started dealing with this, and I was like, okay, I kind of get it. They're coming around on me. But this is an absolute mess. It's a 2.5 four-cylinder turbo engine. Exhaust comes out on this side, wraps around, turbo mounts over here. Intake sits here. It's stupid. It's so dumb. I'm like 6 hours into pulling this. I just got to undo the motor mounts and yank it out. But it is a mess. I hated every second of this. But it is what it is. This car, like, he's got some meats on there. He's got some downforce. There's a big ass splitter off the bumper that's sitting in the garage. Let's focus our attention on the CTSV next. I don't know if any of you guys recognize the CTSV, but I actually picked this up for my brother last year. Had an LS2 in it. It was knocking. When I went and looked at it, pulled out the block. Number 6 rod bearing was shot. There's so much play. So that was actually, I documented that on my Facebook. That was like a 5 or 6 day build on this car. Pulled the engine, rebuilt it, did a big ass cam, got it back together, got it tuned. Took an LS3 block to the machine shop, got it taken care of, got it back, put forged pistons in it. It's got a stage 3 supercharger cam. We got Megan coilovers. We got C6 wheels in the back. I'm putting C5, it's already 5-lug swapped, but I'm putting C5, C6 hubs on it with Z06 rotors so we can run the Corvette wheels. And let me show you guys the most important part of the car. The part you guys are most interested in, if I can get into it. Right here, we got the LS3. So I'm probably gonna have to get rid of this LS2 emblem. We got the forged LS3, rod modded LS3 intake. It's gonna be a rowdy setup. So we're just waiting on this push lock, 6AN to push lock fitting. And then I gotta plug in the brake booster to the back of the intake. And this is gonna be a rowdy setup until we do an LSA. Hopefully the rear end will hold it. It's an SRX diff, 391 combo, 391 ratio with all the creative steel parts. Hopefully it'll hold it, but if not, we'll have to do 8.8. But I love this intake. My favorite part. Probably gotta paint this black, but yep. So we should have that fired up in a couple days. Just waiting on that fitting, like I said. And then it'll be ready for a tune. So let's get back up here to the LS7 to finish up this video. Basically, like I said, guys, I'm gonna end this with asking you, what do we do? What do we do with the LS7? Turbo, supercharger, a ton of nitrous. We could probably hit this with like a 400 shot of nitrous, although it's definitely not needed. Like I said, I could run this car NA and be perfectly happy with it. So that's probably what we're gonna do, but let me know your thoughts. Nitrous, supercharger, turbo, NA. Do I pull the engine back out and sell it? Do I sell the car and just quit and buy a Prius or something? I don't know. All joking aside, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.